Hi, and welcome back to Camp On. I'm Jelly, and we are live from the Lakota Lodge at Camp Napowan. I'm here with Merlin, Mayor Kelly, and Bluegill.
Hello.
What's up?
Hi. And in this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about nicknames at Camp Napowan.
So Merlin, why don't you tell us what's unique about nicknames at Camp Napowan? Why are we discussing this topic?
So, like, all of our staff, if they're on staff for a significant amount of time, have the option to take a nickname, right? And what it does is it allows us to have a camp identity. So we are our camp identities, right? And that makes it so it makes it very unique. It makes it memorable for the scouts. And we find it really special for us. It's a very special thing about who we are at camp is our name, right? It gives us an opportunity to choose a name. Typically, we are offered a name by another staff member, typically an older staff member, and we have the option to accept that name. I turned down two other names before I chose my name. Or your name can be a name.
Like John Crow.
Or Tim McMahon.
Tim McMahon.
You want to talk a little bit about how we got our specific names?
Yeah, do you
I guess so.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So my first year on staff was 2017, and I came as a first-time aquatics director, first-time staff member, and we're putting in the docks, and we lost this ratchet we were using to put in the docks, right? And so I'm frantically, it was the only ratchet we had. I'm frantically looking around the swimming area underwater trying to find this ratchet. We can't find it.
Underwater.
Underwater.
Zero visibility.
Yeah. So finally, I find it, right? Or we found something else, right? And I came up like the sword out of the lake, and I'm like, I found it. And one of my staff member Parks was like, oh, we should call him Marlin from like Finding Nemo. But another staff member, was it you, Bluegill?
No, it was not me.
It's not you. Another one of the staffers misheard him and heard Merlin instead of Marlin. So I ended up as Merlin out of a mistake. But I like mine. Yeah. So Mayor Kelly, how'd you get your name?
So, I'm the mayor of Flintlock. So that's where the first part comes from. But before Mayor Kelly, I was known as R. Kelly. My last name is Kelly, and the first initial of my first name is R. And people thought that was really funny when I was a short 14-year-old chubby kid showing up to work on camp. It sort of just like floated around for a while until enough people were just sort of like referring to me by that, which after a while I decided I should probably change this name for obvious reasons. So I got got known.
Bluegill! Yeah, Mayor Kelly! What is going on?
Watch us on here, guys.
Oh, are you wondering about my nickname? Oh, okay. So my nickname is Bluegill, and you're like, wow, that's such a cool nickname. How did he get that? Let me get this for you.
Thank you.
Kelly, yeah.
That's
Mayor
very...
needs his hat. I began in 2016 as a CIT at Nature, and I was given the fishing merit badge to teach. And at that time, my boss, his nickname was Spenders because he always wore suspenders, so hence they named him Spenders. So I would go down and I would teach kids how to fish. I'd fish, and I may or may not have caught some bluegills. I may or may not have brought them up the nature hill. I may or may not have thrown them at Spenders, and I may or may not have been nicknamed Bluegill because I threw bluegills at my boss.
Oh no.
So
I didn't know that was why you were called Bluegill.
that's how I got my nickname. Bluegill. Jelly, how did you get your nickname there, bud?
Oh, it's such a weird story. I was a CIT working at Footlock in 2016, and I was enjoying a wonderful meal. As a young lad, I had never really eaten the jelly packets on the tables at diners. I didn't go to a lot of diners, so I saw these jelly packets, and I'm like, those look like they would be pretty good. So like while the waiter was taking our order, I just like kind of yoinked the jelly packet and started eating it in front of everyone. Then my good friend McMuffin was like, what are you doing with that jelly? And then the name Jelly was born. And that is why I'm Jelly.
I think Merlin touched on this a little bit, but I think it's really important for the staff, the whole dynamic of your home name and your camp name and just kind of the difference between it, and it kind of gives you a way to get away from where you are in your life, if it's something you just kind of want to get away from, or if you just want a break and it's nice to get up here for 7 or 8 weeks and just kind of enjoy yourself and not have to worry about things back home necessarily. I also wanted to just mention a couple other nicknames of staff that I thought were really funny or unique, and I don't know if you guys have any others, but in 2018, one of my good friends, his nickname was Algie. Algie is an abbreviation for Al Gore. Not to get political, but everyone knows Al Gore is a big fan of protecting the climate. So while we were cleaning out the lake, there was a bunch of stuff in there that's nasty and, like plastic or stuff. And Algie would just pull it out and just chuck it away, and he was just the biggest advocate for the lake. And someone said, haha, we should nickname you Al Gore. And everyone was like, oh my God, that's too long. And then someone came up with the nickname Algie, and it fit perfect because he worked at aquatics on the lake. Algae, like the, algae. So the nickname Algie was born.
What is algae?
It's like aquatic.
You mean a fish?
It's like
The aquatic
grass.
thing. The aquatic seaweed.
It's an aquatic thing.
Yeah, it's an aquatics thing. I wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
So there's actually a staff member named Deese, and it got his nickname because of the incredible large amounts of dice that they keep just around.
Well, a die is singular.
Like-
Dice is the plural.
Yeah.
Dice is
Having
many-
many
the
die.
many.
The many
So-
amount of dice.
Yeah.
So another one that I found interesting was McMuffin. He was a part of, I believe Sherwood is where he was a CIT. I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, but he got the nickname McMuffin because his area was doing very well that week, and a scoutmaster wanted to reward them. So they went out to McDonald's, they got them some McMuffin sandwiches and brought them back. And
From
they
like
just-
early in the morning.
Yeah, early like what you
Morning
want,
program,
this
like
is
10
gonna make
o'clock.
your day great. And he just gives it to the first staff member he sees, and he sees McMuffin, not at the time yet known as McMuffin. So he gives him the bag,
And he eats 8 McMuffins.
he eats 8 of them.
8 of them.
So, of course, he had to be nicknamed.
8.
He had to be nicknamed McMuffin.
8.
You do get to choose how you spell your camp name.
That's it. Some people spell their camp nicknames
Like-
very weirdly.
Like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Silent Q's, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
HAXAW? That's not how you spell hacksaw.
No, that is not how you spell
Who knew jelly could have a Z in it?
it. Where it is, that's for you to figure out.
Only I know. Well, that about wraps it up for nicknames. So remember, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe, and share, and have a
And
good day.
share your likes. Like your shares.